have arrived.
I think we just landed, Sheila.
Did we land?
Yes, we did.
All right, we landed in Kajiado County.
Hapa ni Mary Show in Rongai.
Welcome to the second episode of Kilimo Diaries. My name is Sheila Chelangat.
I'm MC Jaffe.
And on this episode, we are meeting our model farmer, Leia, who will take us through poultry management.
And of course, not only the model farmer that we're going to meet today, but of course, kuna aspiring farmers who are ready to learn about poultry management, maneno ya security, maneno ya sanitation, of course nutrition to ensure efficient production.
I don't know about you. Are you ready?
Niko tayari.
All right.
Uko tayari?
They are definitely ready. Come with us as I meet host farmer Leia.
And of course, aspiring farmers.
Let's go.
Kilimo Diaries, brought to you by Backbone Feeds Kenya Limited. To place your order, please call or WhatsApp us on 0710-822-222 or visit any of our distributors countrywide. Backbone Feeds, healthy broilers, happy farmers.
Hi. This is such a beautiful farm.
Thank you.
So first introduce yourself to us, the aspiring farmers and the viewer back at home, and tell us what is the size first of your flock and why did you decide to do poultry farming?
Hello, my name is Leia Wamushia. Welcome to Green Castle Farm. Here we keep broilers. Currently our capacity is around 6,000, but the stock that has just arrived 4 days ago is about 2,000. Yes.
So someone is wondering why chicken and not any other bird?
Why chicken? They are lovely. It's my passion. I decided to keep them because I had a vision that in my retirement, this is what I would want to do. I'm a retired hotelier.
Okay.
Yes.
You've mentioned broilers.
Yes.
So why broilers and not layers and the other types?
Well, broilers are fast growing. You realize your profits by about a month and a half or so.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm so excited to be here, ready to learn everything with you on poultry management.
Yes.
But first, let us meet up with Jaffe, who is on the other side with our aspiring farmers of the day.
Yes, Sheila, niko hapa na aspiring farmers. These are people ready to learn. And of course, mimi nataka kujua, je, hao ni farmers ambao wanafuga kuku aina gani? Je, ni broilers ama ni layers? And of course, ni nini sana ambao wako tayari kujifunza na huyu model farmer ambaye tuko naye siku ya leo? And of course, wacha tuwajue. Unaitwa nani bro?
Jina ni Gladon, broiler farmer, birds 500.
Birds 500.
Kwa majina Josephat Yosoya, broiler farmer 200.
Josephat kama Jaffe. Asante sana.
Kwa majina ni Nicholas Kiprop. Mimi ni farmer ya kienyeji na ninafanya hatching.
Hatching?
Yeah.
Wow. Yaani umetoka all the way bro, umekuja kufanya hatching Nairobi?
From Mount Elgon.
Mount Elgon mwisho kabisa.
Yeah.
Tuluwa mkoa. Asante sana.
Kwa majina naitwa Vitalis Mwango.
Mimi
ni farmer, nimekipa kuku 200 na uza tu wa nyama.
Nyama tu.
Nyama tu.
Nyama tu.
Kabisa.
So unaweza nichinjia 2-3?
Kabisa.
Take away. Asante. Nawe mami?
Kwa majina ni Karomosili. Nimeweka broilers 500 na pia za kienyeji nimeweka kama 300 hivi za kuuzia tu watu wa kila siku moja moja. Hata ukitaka utabeba moja.
Si ndio? Na inaleta pesa?
Kabisa.
Napenda.
Kwa majina naitwa Julius Kabira. Na mimi kuna broilers 200 na kienyeji wa nyama.
Nyama tu.
Nyama tu.
Kwa majina naitwa June Kate. Mimi ni mkulima wa broilers 400 na bata pia. So bata pia nauza. You can have even the ducklings. Yeah.
Okay.
Na majina naitwa Kevo. So mimi ni mkulima wa kufuga wanyama ambao ni ndege. Broilers. Niko nao 350. So ningependa kujua vile wakulima wenzangu wanafanya. So ningete hiyo mtindo. Pia mimi nikuwe na hiyo kipaji.
Beautiful.
Kwa majina naitwa Paul Mtunga. Mimi ni young farmer. Nimeanza juzi. I'm just motivated. So nimeweka birds 300 broilers.
300 broilers. Yeah. Na unasema tu kidogo tu na 300 bro. Unawe ni starter. Beginner napenda.
Kwa majina Fredo Yaro.
Fredo Yaro.
Niko na layers nafanya hatching. Yeah.
So unaweza nipatia wale wadogo ambao
wako tayari?
Wako tayari
kabisa.
Je, wewe uko tayari? And of course the whole country is here. Umesikiza tu from their names and where they come from. The whole country is here. They are ready to learn. It's all about poultry management. And of course tuko tayari kujifunza. Wanafunzi mko tayari? Aspiring farmers mko tayari?
Yes.
Kama mko tayari, mimi niko tayari, wewe kuwa tayari. Si tuende tujifunze? Tuende tukasome.
Wait, Jaffe. Stop. Mimi nishafunzwa. You have to disinfect first. So let me see you do it.
Sipole bas.
So the journey always starts here at the brooder, and Leia, you're doing an amazing job. Probably take us through how it has been since day 1, now it's day 4 of them.
The most important thing at the brooding section is the control of temperature. So from day 0, the day they came, to around day 5, we observe the temperature of 35 degrees, and we have to use thermometers. We have stationed them there. There's one here, and the other one at that end. Yeah, so that's the most important part.
That's the most important
Yes,
part.
regulation of temperature.
Okay, and so how many times do you feed them in a day, and what feeds do you use for these young chicks?
This company called Backbone, we have starter crumbs over here. When they're young, they eat throughout. So we just put the food until it's over, we add when they're this young, up to around day 14. I've been in this journey for the last 3 years, and I've used so many companies, so many different companies. But the one that is working for me, it has been Backbone. The results are good. Then they don't consume a lot. At the end of the journey, I use less bags. They pick very well. We have a graph where we see the weight gain per day. So when you compare the graph when you're using Backbone to other feeds, this one has been moving very well.
And since now it's very hot, and you've said it's good for their growth, but then how now do you ventilate the area so that, you know, they can feel good as well?
Well, let's say when they're this young, the ventilation is good enough. You know, these ones are not 100%. That's why you use sacks, not polythene.
Okay.
They also have their breathing spaces. And of course, you can imagine the amount of air they consume here is not a lot. But after 14 days, we'll have to open. We usually open.
So in terms of now poultry management, of course, there's so much that you have to take into consideration. And before we got in here, you had us disinfect our feed. Probably why and what other measures are you taking in terms of biosecurity in your farm? Okay,
what you do, first you have to disinfect. Why? You may be carrying some illnesses. These chicks are very vulnerable. I think their immunity is usually very, very low. You see, you could have come from another farm, bring in the infections. Then we also fumigate once in a while. Like where we are, you see there's some forest here, we have some rats and all that. So we have a fumigator who comes to disinfect the whole yard. Maybe that, it happens like 3 times in a month. But for maintenance, we just buy the small tablets for rats, and we are good to go.
Okay.
How beautiful. Of course, this brings us now back to maswali ambayo nimetumwa na aspiring farmers. Wamesema Jaffe, wewe ndo spokesperson, si ndio? Umenituma. Na kama kuna swali pia, usiogope kuuliza swali, si ndio mami? So swali ambayo tunataka kuzungumzia ni maneno ya diseases.
Yes.
How do you identify? Unaangaliaje, unasema kwamba these birds are sick, and una establish namna gani, and zile common diseases ambazo una encounter ni gani?
What I've observed, everything comes from their poop.
Okay.
You look at the color.
Color of the poop.
The color of the poop. It's supposed to be just the ordinarily hard, not hard, you know the way it would look like, yeah? If you see whitish, brownish, there's an illness. Having stayed here with them for now the 3rd year, when I see white, I know just that's coccidiosis.
Oh, okay.
When I'm not sure, I take it to the vet. Yes. Okay. So we have a vet on call.
On call?
Yes. Yeah.
How do you deworm them?
Actually, broilers, we don't really deworm. What you do, you make sure the water is clean.
Oh, beautiful.
The water is treated because there are some illnesses like E. coli. Comes through the water, whether it's rainwater or whatever. You know, you have a rainwater from the mabatis, so okay. It has collected uchafu. If it's from the well, like here in Rogai, we do most of the boreholes. You don't know where you got it from. So you have to treat that water before you give to the chicks.
Nataka turuke pale kwa flock management. Wewe kwa sababu saa misisi ni aspiring farmers.
Yes.
How do you establish uangalie kwamba these are the number of flocks that I can manage?
Depending on your cage and your capacity. Like this cage, every bird should have its space. This section can only carry 2,000. So it's you, the farmer. Even when I'm setting the brooder, if I had taken 500, maybe it would be that size. But now this is according to the measurements that we are given, this is enough just for 2,000.
2,000. Yes. Beautiful.
And I would imagine then you need a lot of record keeping to know what is happening in your farm. How important is that?
This work you cannot do without record keeping. Why? You have, the birds have come. You have to take stock of how many died and why they are dying. There's that allowable margin of dying, yeah? Like, you should know why did it die. Maybe day 1 and day 2, I received some that were not well. Like you can see we have marked them. The ones that they looked sickly when they came, yeah? We have marked them. So there are those which will die out of crowding. You have to record there. By the end of the week, you have to know how many died at the end of 1 week. Second week. So you'll even be able to know which week do they die most. So there's this illness that must appear. Like I've seen coccidiosis, it's like it's automatic, it must come. And you also have to keep record of which medication did I use previously. Like for example, in my case, there was a time I like it when it's organic. I like using a lot of organic treatments. I have aloe vera I've planted all over. So from 14 days, I'll start giving aloe vera. I also give, what do you call it, pilipili. Yes. I grind. It's good for the stomach. These birds, there is this stubborn illness, very irritating, called water belly. Yeah, water belly, they are not able to pass out to the water. So aloe vera plus now pilipili, they have been working for me.
Sisi wanafunzi na bado tuko na maswali. Mko na maswali si ndio?
Maswali ni mengi.
Niko na mwanafunzi mmoja hapa.
I like to know about that water belly, whatever the dawa. Hiyo pilipili and the aloe vera.
Yes.
How do you do it when you want to give them?
Yeah.
Okay, it's here. Dawa per se is preventative. It prevents. It doesn't happen. They don't get that water very much when I use the pilipili. And what I do, I don't use any measurement per se. I grind 1 5 liter. I put in that tank of 500 ml. Yes.
So you grind the pilipili.
I blend
the whatever.
Yes.
Aloe vera.
Aloe vera, like 5 leaves, the huge ones, yeah. Then pilipili about just a bunch. Yes.
Why do you prefer using the rice husk than the
sawdust?
Sawdust, number one, sawdust is cheaper and very economical for everyone, but not readily available. Then I also reason, when some water pours like here, to just sip down quickly. I have some chunks of wood this size. I saw it's like it's retaining some water in a way. Yeah.
So it works better than...
Yeah, this one has worked better because I've also worked with wood shavings.
This husk, wale wakiwa wakubwa.
Yes.
Hawatakula because they are tiny.
Let me tell you, I've not experienced that. Even when we do post-mortem, the way you'd think you'll find one, I've never found. Even these small ones, it has never, day one, they're eating everything. I've never seen that. This one has died at a cut, we see it's choked. It hasn't happened. Yeah. But what we do even with this one, we mix, this is rice husk, right from the farm, yeah? We also mix with some rime. It helps in absorbing water quickly. Even when it produces ammonia, the rime will suck it out. Yeah.
Of course, most of those questions we will engage our expert of the day, but thank you very much for taking us through poultry management. And for you back at home, do not go too far. We will be back after this short commercial break.
Kilimo Diaries, brought to you by Backbone Feeds Kenya Limited. To place your order, please call or WhatsApp us on 0710-822-222 or visit any of our distributors countrywide. Backbone Feeds, healthy broilers, happy farmers.
Yesu no muyari. Ero ndero. Aikia baba. Ero ndero. Aikia baba. Alafu.
Welcome back. This is Kilimo Diaries, and where are we, Jaffe?
Of course tuko Leia's farm hapa ni Ronga. Tunaambia by the way matza Ronga ni zi. Lakini tuko Mary show hapa kwa shamba ya Leia.
And we have learned everything about poultry management, and right about now we have our expert of the day taking us through the finer details of poultry management, and that is Marion Jiru. How are you?
I'm fine.
All right, I'm good. And we are joined by representatives from the Kenya National Farmers Federation, Enoch and Joanne. But before we engage them, Marion, we have checked out Leia's brooder, and when we were interviewing her, we saw that there's the ventilation. So how important is ventilation for poultry health, and what are the signs that you know there's bad air quality in our chicks?
For ventilation, you have to check it all the way from day 0, from the time when the chicks get into the farm, to the times when they are at the finisher phase going to slaughter. So if they are chicks, let's say week 1, week 2, they don't need that much air. Like you've seen her poultry house, she has closed the brooder to conserve the heat. But you still have to make room for a little bit of air to get in. So if chicks don't get enough air, they'll get water belly. People usually think that water belly is just for older birds, but if chicks lack air, they'll get water belly. They'll probably get a lot of respiratory issues. So we have to balance between the two.
Right.
Beautiful. And of course, sisi tuko na maswali mob sana kama aspiring farmers. Lakini I'll go first, Mario, nikuulize swali. How do I identify the sick ones?
It's just like in human beings, right? There's the normal behavior that we have for chicken. It's supposed to be lively, it's supposed to eat, it's supposed to drink water. So if your birds are not feeding, and if your birds are not taking water, it should be a sign to you that there is a problem. So that is why, like Leia mentioned earlier, you're supposed to keep records.
Okay.
So part of record keeping is knowing how much and how many kgs of feed your birds eat a day, and how many liters of water they are supposed to consume. Yeah. And also if they're looking weak, lame, ruffled feathers, or there is diarrhea, either any color, red, green, white. So all those signs are supposed to tell you that something is not okay with your flock. In older birds, water belly can also be caused by overfeeding, because if you feed the bird, it will have to metabolize the feed, right? So the moment you increase the metabolism, you get a water belly case. So you have to check your feeding. So if it's too hot, you don't feed, because it won't be able to manage the heat from the environment and the metabolic heat, right? Yeah, and the other thing that farmers don't give is the dark hours when the birds are older. So that's still related to overfeeding, but you have to make sure that when your birds are older, at least they get 6 to 8 hours. 8 hours when they are just resting, and no feed, no water, they are just resting.
And you've touched on feeding, so I'm wondering, are there some supplements or additives that you would recommend, and under what condition would you recommend these additives?
If you're giving a good quality feed, you don't need to supplement, because the feed has everything that the chicken needs to grow and to maybe lay eggs, right? Sometimes there are feeds which have deficiencies, so a vet should be able to advise you what you will supplement with depending on the issue that you have. But as long as you have good quality feed, you don't need any supplementation. What I advise farmers is that if you're maybe transitioning from starter to grower or grower to finisher, so that you can also help the bird to metabolize that feed and reduce cases of heart attacks and water belly, you just give liver support.
What am I supposed to do? Just again, it can be shocking because this is an investment. Umetoa pesa bank loan, umekuja umerusha umesema naeka kuku. Nimekuwa excited. What are some of the steps I can take as an aspiring farmer? Zile kuna high mortality rates za kuku.
As a vet, I want a farmer who keeps records, number one. So mortality records are part of it, right? So per flock, you're not supposed to lose more than 4%. That's the acceptable rate of death, yeah? So if you're a farmer and you have like 500 birds, you should not lose more than 20. So you're not supposed to lose more than 1 bird a day, right? So as you keep those records, before we get to a lot of mortality, like 10, 20, immediately you see there like 2, you should alert a vet. But like we said earlier during our sessions, management is key. If you manage it well, unless there's a disease outbreak, you won't have mortality issues. Because things like suffocation, it's a management problem. Things like water belly is a management problem. Heart attacks are management problems.
We found these birds that when they're the age of 2 to 3 weeks, you may say that this bird they go large corn, whereby that bird goes on large corn, it cannot return back. They remain there, and then they form something like reddish in color. So what can be the cause?
The heart of a bird is very small, right? And broilers are modified to gain weight. So if you find a bird like at 21 days, it's 1.1, 1.2 kilograms, that heart is supposed to pump blood to all that body mass. So if you don't manage feeding well, or if you don't give it enough air, or if your house is overstocked, right, then you'll have that flip over problem. And if it gets to that stage, the only thing you can do is just look at those 3 factors.
Amazing. That's so much insight. And maybe the last question, how should we record keep?
Basic record keeping things that you're supposed to check. Check your temperature during brooding. Check your water intake, feeding, how many bags or how many kgs you give. Mortality records, very important. Vaccination dates. So you're supposed to know as per what your supplier, chick supplier has told you, what date you're supposed to give those chicks vaccines. And any antibiotic or supplements that you give, you're supposed to note them at the exact dates that you give those.
And of course niko na swali Marion, of course to benefit us sisi kama aspiring farmers na ule ambaye anatutizama right now ndani ya TV47. How am I supposed to properly dispose kuku ambao wamekufa?
You're supposed to either incinerate or dig a pit. Most preferably 100 meters away from the poultry house, 6 feet deep. So that's where you're supposed to take all your mortalities.
Hata kama alikuwa amemachua nisikule. Ini Nairobi tusiharibu mboga. What could be the effects za probably mtu anakula kuku ambao wamemachua na wamekufa?
There is something we call zoonotic diseases, number 1. Those are diseases that can be transferred from animals or birds to humans. We're trying to avoid that. Things like salmonellosis, AI, such. And also, if you find that kuku amekufa, that means haja bleed. Part of the slaughter process is to bleed the chicken. And blood harbors a lot of bacteria. So if you eat a dead bird, alafu tena upate it's not properly cooked, then you'll be bringing problems to yourself.
Tusikule, to dispose, ndio? And of course, tuko na of course Enoch all the way from Kenya National Association of Farmers. Enoch, karibu sana. Kuku nimelea. What are some of the value additions zenye nitapata mimi kama mkulima na nimeingia KENAF?
The first benefit of joining KENAF is that capacity building and training is guaranteed to farmers who are joining. They will just learn the process. If they are poultry farmers, in this case, they will benefit in terms of learning generative agriculture. They will also benefit in terms of learning how to formulate feeds, homemade feeds. And in this case also, they will also benefit in terms of renewable energy uses at home. So most importantly, if a farmer joins right now, he will go through those stages from what is KENAF, and at the end of the day, you learn more what KENAF does in terms of bringing value to the value chain he or she belongs to.
I think now we are ready to be excellent farmers.
Yeah.
Yes. So we could take the take homes from the aspiring farmers, what they have learned today and what they will implement in their farms.
Umejifunza nini ndugu yangu?
The standard of feeds, how to go about management ya filtration, because shida ya water berry nimelani ya kwamba right from the word go, if you don't do proper filtration, feeds vile unabadilisha na vile unaspare, they may at the end give you a real problem.
Mi nimejifunza, sikujua aloe vera na pilipili pia inaweza prevent some magonjwa. Alafu pia nikaona okay, hizo ni vitu zinapatikana hata kwa urahisi. So I've learned a lot.
Hii safari inaweza kuanza kwa uchache, then it will become a big thing. For example, is Leia grow her poultry farming to this level. Why? Because she decided to grow. Kwa hivyo hata kama wakulima, we can equally grow.
Vile na answer from day 1, kuku vile naanza kuzifuga until wiki 2, wiki 3. Hiyo nimejifunza mengi.
Nimejifunza kwa vile unamonta mifugo yako. Hata nimejifunza leo kuweka hiyo, badala ya kuweka hiyo nini tumura, lakini utaweza change hiyo ya mchere, inakuwa mzuri sana na inao soft maji haraka.
Kazi ya ukulima unaweza kujiajiri na kupata pesa ambayo inaweza kukusaidia.
Asante sana.
Nimejifunza umuhimu wa chakula kizuri na kuweka records zako vizuri.
It was so nice. Nimediscover new feed, your backbone, so I'm going to try it.
Asante sana.
Proper disposal of the chicken other than taking them.
Na wewe mami umejifunza nini?
Nimejifunza mahali pale wanalala pakiwa wet. Hiyo wetness uskip isilete ugonjwa. Hasa kwa wale wadogo.
The youngest aspiring farmer. Bro, umejifunza nini?
You should not eat the cocoa.
Yeah. Jaffe, I think now we can be good poultry farmers, you and I, yeah?
Oh yeah, you can say that again. I'm ready, niko tayari.
But thirdly, we are coming to a close on this episode.
But thanks to Leia, kwa sababu ametukaribisha kwa famu yake, have a good time. Asante sana to the aspiring farmers. Aspiring farmers, eh? Yeah. Aspiring farmers. Thanks of course to Kenya National Farmers Federation and thanks to Backbone Feeds Kenya Limited kwa sababu tumekuwa nao in a good way. Want to say thank you to you for watching.
And of course, stay tuned for more in our subsequent episodes. And who knows, we could be coming to a farm next to you. I am Sheila Chelangat.
And I'm MC Jaffe.
And of course, this is Kilimo Diaries, a show for the farmers.
By the farmers.
With the farmers.
Kilimo Diaries, brought to you by Backbone Feeds Kenya Limited. To place your order, please call or WhatsApp us on 0710 822 222 or visit any of our distributors countrywide. Backbone Feeds, healthy broilers, happy farmers.